Hey guys, how's it going? It's Daniels here. Welcome to episode number 41 of this NHL 22 Quebec Nordiques Relocation franchise mode where we moved Arizona up north to Quebec City. If you guys have missed any episodes up to this point, head up into that top corner. And if you do enjoy this one, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, and hit notifications to never miss these uploads. So last episode, we got into the 2033 playoffs, and unfortunately we were eliminated in 7 games by the Buffalo Sabres in the conference finals. So it's been a bit of a rough couple of years here, especially since when you look at team awards and things like that, we made it to the Stanley Cup finals last year, I believe. Last year, 2031-32, and again, we're eliminated, but it's been a little bit of a rough go. We haven't won a cup in over 5 years now almost, and really that's kind of like what we're trying to do to close in and close up this series, because we're into episode 41 now. It's been a bit of a long series, but it's been a good one, and well, we've got a draft to get to, but we have one player in here that looks amazing, Weiman. He's got a 2-year ETA, and I think we're going to try to pick him up. We're going to try to trade up and make a move at the draft. But apart from that, we are in the works of trying to win a single more Stanley Cup with this team before we kind of start to conclude this franchise mode or do like a episode wrap-up kind of thing for the series or something like that. But at the moment, we still got a couple more episodes left at least before we really get another shot at a Stanley Cup. But this team is in fantastic shape, and really we're not that far off from winning a cup. Uriel McQuaid, let's go. Look at that. There's some really solid performances there. 114 points, 115 in 68 games. He's insane. McQuaid definitely could make the NHL still at that rate. Apart from that, Rizzy's looking pretty good. I'm excited for him to join our team here pretty soon. And apart from that, we don't have too many other like super crazy guys. I mean, Dietz had a decent season, put up 44 points as a defenseman, which I cannot complain about. And apart from that, the goalies weren't overly spectacular. Djordjevic and Desharnais could have done better for sure, but we've still got some crazy good players in here that, should be making a difference and kind of haven't been, unfortunately. Yes, the team's good, don't get me wrong, but we're still just not quite there. So we're going to try to upgrade a little bit through the draft here today, and let's get to it. All right, so for the lottery, Ottawa's going to win the draft. Montreal and San Jose move up from 12-13 to 2-3. That is rigged, my goodness. So we'll likely be trying to trade with Washington or St. Louis or somebody like that to try and land Weiman. But apart from that, we've got some pinned players here that look really good for where they're at in the draft. Beta is, kind of a 50-50, but we've pretty much got a guarantee on, not Lundin, but Gunderson, I want to say, is a guarantee. Just look at his X factors. He's very likely going to be a low elite at 67. Bladder looks good. Vosenar, we've got some late rounders here too. Look at this. Vosenar looks insane. He's 3-year ETA at probably going to be turning 19 years old, I would assume. But Velicevic also looks really good. Or Velicevic? I don't know how you say his name exactly. But yeah, look at these elite players. We've got some pretty much guaranteed prospects in here. So that's nice to see. It doesn't always happen. But this year for retiring players, we see some big name guys call it quits this year. Nobody was super high rated. Besser was probably kind of the best one there out of all of these players that, still probably could have played in the NHL. Maybe Adrian Kempe, but overall, pretty solid retiree class. Nothing crazy, but I don't actually know if we even lost anybody to retire or to becoming a retiree, but all right, that's it for that. You can pause if you want, and let's get through to this. So we've got the draft coming up, and we are going to have to make a trade pretty likely, but I'm pretty confident on the picks that we currently hold and that we're going to try to acquire, that they are going to make a difference here for this team. So one of these guys that we probably need to move on from is Raphael Desharnais. Another one would probably be Holden Bancks too at $12 million. We don't have a lot of cap space, And you can see how many expiring players we have. Like Taticek and Bedard need to be signed. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And I think that is probably going to be one of the best moves that we can really make with this team at this point. So, all right, let's continue on here. And Tremblay's looking okay. He's up to a 68. He put up 56 points. Not bad. Not bad at all. But again, just never really turned into the player we were kind of expecting him to. Unfortunately, Lander kind of drops off there. And apart from that, yeah, we could have some better players than we do right now, but development hasn't gone certain guys' ways, unfortunately. Like Emmerich Walker, I'm pretty sure we drafted at like I want to say he was a 75 overall. And where was he? Yeah, we drafted him at a 74 overall, so he hasn't grown in 2 full years, which is insane because his production's gone up, but yeah, just never really panned out for him. And it's been that way for quite a few guys here, so let's try to move some of our largest contracts. I think that might be one of the best ideas we can kind of stick around with for this team. I don't think we're going to move Makar. He's been quite good, but apart from Makar, I think Bancks is definitely a movable piece if we do it right. And apart from that, a lot of rookie or like entry-level kind of contracts still. So Darnay will be one of those guys. Bancks will likely be one of those guys. And let's see what we can do. Alright, so as we get into this draft here, I'm going to try to trade up for pick number 10 from the Washington Capitals. And let's see just what they want for that pick. So Washington, down at the bottom here. They've got some decent players, but I feel like they don't really have a lot of cap space. Alright, they want Montoya for some later round picks, or McQuaid, or Holmes. Okay, let's see if we can get... Actually, wait, hold on. What picks do we even have here? I gotta look at what picks we have. Because I think for the most part, we're actually doing pretty good on what's available, how our team's shaped up, and what we're doing with it. So, yeah, if we can get that, pick number 10, I think then that kind of lines up with all the other picks I want to make here. And yeah, okay, I think this is doable. So all right, so let's head to Washington. How's their cap space doing? They got $4 million in cap space. So if we can just get pick 10 off of them, along with maybe a expiring contract, then that could work. So biggest deals they got on their team, Travis Konechny at 36 would be a decent piece to kind of clear up some cap space with. Same thing with a guy like Andre Waters. We don't really need him, but again, he's expiring, so that would clear up 2 roster spots in exchange for 2 pieces like Holden, Bancks, that are, filling a ton of cap space for this team right now and really just could help us clear out a bunch. So let's go with Darnay as well in this deal, and then they want our rookie kind of skaters, like our youngster guys here that are going to develop for the future. So I think I'm going to offer Montoya or Holmes, because I'm not trading McQuaid. I would say Holmes is probably the worst prospect out of all of the ones that we have for elite guys. So Quebec could have too many skaters, makes sense. Washington would have too many goalies. Okay. Now we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty pickiness of this. So let's go with Crawford. We won't re-sign him. And Washington's over the cap. Okay, we're gonna have to try something else here. All right, so Ottawa should be taking that Darche guy. Oh, he's 84 rated. Okay, so that's a pretty sweet player there. But no need to really trade up. I'd rather just kind of stick around, pick 10, and land a decent prospect. All right, so we're going to try to run this deal. We're going to go Holden, Bancks, Kelvin Holmes, Raphael Darnay, and Pavel Semin to the Washington Capitals in exchange for the 10th overall pick, Crawford, Konechny, and Waters. And again, all those guys are on 1-year expiring deals. We don't want them, but we're just trying to get this deal to go through. So let's offer it. Oh, wow. There was like 30 seconds left and that pick got made. Okay, well, I'm going to run the same trade up again, and hopefully it goes through. Alright, so the only thing I changed here is we're going to try trading Brock Ebbett instead of Pavel Semin, and really this trade should go through. It's very lopsided in value, but it's more so just a cap dump for our team. We're getting rid of $16 million. Yes, we're bringing in 13, but that is all just going to expire, and we're going to have $16 million extra of cap space to spend on our extensions. So let's do this. Trade accepted, no questions asked there, and we will continue on here. So now we get to making the picks, and there were some pretty decent defensemen and players in here, like Pikkarainen actually fell to pick 6, which was a little surprising. I didn't expect that to happen, but Oilers didn't want a defenseman, which is interesting because, there's still an elite center in Caden Layman on the board. I don't know why the Oilers wouldn't take him, but we're going to jump on this opportunity, and we're going to draft Caden Layman 10th overall. So as a 70 rated elite two-way forward, he could develop into something very nice, very special, as long as things keep going well for him in Chicoutimi. And really, we're not going to rush his development at all. We're going to hope that he can, continue to produce in the queue. And apart from that, Willis was a really nice defenseman. Savard was good. Boulin was good. Whitfield was good. My goodness, lots of... Alvin Watton. What in the world is that pick, right? But no. Nicholas Marquardt and Valery Yakupov, very solid overall players for pick 11 and 12 in that draft. And now we go off the board because there is a QMJHL Quebec goalie here, Jerome Bernier. We're going to take him. He essentially replaces Desharnais on value, and this is with our own first rounder, but he's a 55 rated butterfly goalie, and he's a first rounder, so he should hopefully develop into something decent. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Really, we just lost Sebastian Blatter. I was certain on picking him, and now we're not going to get that opportunity. Wow, that kind of stinks. Okay, well, screw it. If you're going to take Blatter, I don't know who else we take then. I know I want to take Gunderson because not a lot of these other guys really look like legit players in comparison. Maybe this guy. Salcido, whatever his name is. To be fair, I was going to take Blatter. Like, he was going to be our pick, but he somehow falls off the board and goes way higher up than he should have. So we'll just take Gunderson with pick 47. I don't even care. I know he's going to be an elite just because of his X factors. He's 62 rated. Ooh, he's fully loaded on X factors too. So I won't complain about that. Sure, Sebastian Blatter would have been a nice pick. He's a very solid two-way forward, but we get a better low elite offensive defenseman here in Gunderson instead, who's bigger, more loaded on X factors, really just looks like a better all-round kind of player here in the second round than Blatter. So maybe we do end up trading. We've got pick 62 here. Maybe we end up trading that, to be honest. All right, so the rest of our picks should line up here, but I'm going to try to find a trade for our late second rounder here, and hopefully we can just move that for a future second. That would be really nice. And it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Okay, that kind of stinks. But, a third and a fifth isn't really all that bad. So, who's going to be the worst team here? Well, we can get a third and a fourth from LA or Nashville. Or the Rangers. Let's take the Rangers. I think that's probably a decent pick. All right, so we'll accept this trade. Just get rid of that pick. We don't really need it now that Blatter went off the board. And all right, now we're over to pick number 94. And in between here, we're going to see just about nobody, because again, Klotz would have been a decent pick as a goalie, but oh well. Same with Reynolds. Oh, wow, Reynolds was 60 rated. Jeez, Keaton Reynolds would have been the player to use that pick on, I guess. But apart from that, Per Gortz was also really decent. And even Kasperitis too. Okay, so pretty solid second round there. I like the pick that we got. And as much as I want to take Legault, I know better than that because... Wait, are we taking... No way. Are we taking him at 94? That can't be right. Where did we get pick 94 from? I'm pretty sure our next pick lines up at... I must have missed another pick. Okay, well, let's make another trade. You know what? Screw it. That was not exactly what I don't know how I got pick 94 there, but that's okay. So, again, we'll just trade it off for another pick. It's not a big deal. And we should get a 4th and a 5th probably for it. Alright, so we'll make that trade too. Again, we don't need that pick. We've got later prospects lined up that I'm more willing to take. Although, yes, we probably could have taken, what's his name? I don't think we really need him, not Legault. But we'll see. So, was Legault actually... Oh, Eric Godard. Again, didn't even know he existed. But... Michel Deamour as well, playing for Quebec and the Q. Would have been a decent pick. Alright, so we definitely miss out on some picks here, but that's okay. You are going to miss out on some every now and then. And the go, yeah, he was a low 6. That's kind of what I was expecting. So, wasn't really going to get my hopes up on that. But at 126 now, I am convinced Will Beta is going to be decent. Just based on his 18-year-old stats and his X factors and everything. We're going to take him. And hopefully he pans out. Maybe he doesn't. But yes, he does. Perfect. He is a medium 6 playmaker. That's as good as you can ask for a 4th round pick. And on to round 5 now, where we're going to see Mario Robitaille. Again, QMJHL player. Man, there's some good French Canadians in here. Koprakari as well. He's 20, but again, good potential. Ooh, Lakinen. Mikko Lakinen, very nice player. Appleby too. Wow, okay. This is actually getting a little frustrating now. I keep trading away picks thinking, oh yeah, there's nobody in here, and then teams just keep finding steals. So, what do you do, right? Phil Miller, that's quite the name. Phil Mill, but our next pick here at 158, we are going to go, gotta check my list here. I guess we're going to go with Vosenar. He's got a 3-year ETA, I can't really question that. And he's 66 rated. Ooh, alright, keep an eye on Ricky Vosenar. Hopefully if he can get his skating up a little bit more, then he might be an NHL level defenseman someday, especially for 158th overall pick. You cannot complain about that pick at all. Eric Cato, good player there too for 19 years old. Apart from Cato, who else was actually good? This is why I picked off the board, was because I did not see a lot of potential, but, Cato proves me wrong there. So on to pick 190, and we're going to go back into the 200s or so. And I have to take Valisevic here, because he looks too good to pass on, and at 214, we might as well take him. He's 52 rated, and he's a bit of an undersized playmaking center, but again, we get 3 really solid centers in this draft. We get Beta, Valisevic, and of course Caden Layman in the first round. So over to 222, and McCabe, that's a decent defenseman. What's his name? Kenny McCabe. All right, we missed on one there, but can't really complain about that either. Sure, maybe McCabe would have been a better pick than Beta, but really, it's not going to make a difference by the end of this franchise mode, most likely. So, for our last pick of this draft, Thorsten Lundin is going to be the pick. We have been nailing it on picks today, and we get a 58 rated low elite 2-way forward. I didn't think he was going to be that good. I was honestly expecting a low 6, but Thorsten Lundin, might be another one of those 7th rounders that actually develops for us. I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of 7th rounders develop up to this point. I mean, Harvey Biggs is one of those guys. He is like a 5th round pick, I think. But again, every now and then a low elite just shoots up out of nowhere and turns into an actual NHL prospect. Like Safronov was a 6th rounder. Ethan Winquist has made our team. He was a 7th rounder. And apart from that, not too many else, to be honest. Maybe. Actually, yeah, no, I don't think we really saw too many 7th rounders actually turn out in this franchise mode, to be completely honest. But can't complain about that, right? The team's in really good shape overall, and I love how those last couple picks turned out. So, sim the rest of the draft, 2 low 6 or 2 medium bottom 6 players go, and that was a good draft again. All right, so let's get into the re-sign phase here. We've got some money to actually go and offer guys like Bedard, players like such now. Pavelski's going to be a little expensive. Is he defensive? He is defensive, so he's probably the coach that we keep around over a guy like Claude Giroux. But we're going to offer him like $2 million for the role of assistant coach, or associate coach, which is hilarious because it's not very often that associate coaches are getting paid like head coaches, right? So, yeah, like he's actually going to be making more. And then how much he wants head coach too, so we'll let him expire. We don't need Giroux as a secondary forward coach. It just doesn't make sense in comparison. But Pavelski we will keep around again. He was a Quebec Nordique for a couple of years and has led this team to success in more years than not, right? So mostly our scouts have been great as well. They're pretty much all amateur scouts. And all right, we're in a good situation, apart from the fact that we got to pay players. And let's see how much these guys are really asking for. So, of course, we did get Connor Bedard on that $9.35 million deal. We've got $21 million of cap space to play with. And for players like Uriel Weiman and Oldrich Taticek, those are huge amounts of money that we are going to be paying them. Like, there's no question in my mind about that. So, let's release a guy like Crawford. Atkinson is going to be our backup for this upcoming year, so Bobkov is a decent signing, especially at 69 rated. How did he develop if he never played a game in Russia? So how did he develop? He must have just been doing some like crazy Russian training or something like that. But I do want Gabriel Weimer back, but I don't know if we're going to get an offer or like an option to sign him. Okay. Let's offer Kwiatkowski a nice cheap deal there. Same with Pitton. Again, I can't really complain about most of these guys. We are going to get Tremblay here. Raphael Tremblay's looking great. Ooh, how about Petri Kavasari? 6th round pick developed into something decent here. 67 rated at just 19 years old. I mean, yes, we do sign our, Top Gun kind of defenseman in Raphael Tremblay, who is years out still by the looks of it. But, we got Vosenar, we got Gunderson, we got some legitimate players coming up here through the system. Supre never really turned out, but Kavasari looks really good. And, all right, I like where the defense is at, to be honest. So, now the question falls, $11 million, okay. 0.85 times 11... A $9.35 million contract for 6 years for a guy like Uriel Weiman would be fantastic, but I don't know if he signs that, to be honest. We'll see. Travis Konechny, would be a pretty decent signing. He would buff out our right wing even more than it already is, but I just don't think we really need that. A guy like Louis Laflamme, he's actually developed fairly well. He's put up some ridiculous points in junior. 87 assists 1 year is insane, so let's give him a contract here for this team. I think he's going to be great. Torsten Lundin, we will wait and see if he develops there in Oribro. And all right, the left wing is in shambles right now, unfortunately. So with that in mind, how about a guy like Waters? How good was he? 51 points, 50. Yeah, okay, he's not really the size and skill set that we really need on this team at this point. A guy like Michael Muldoon, I'm going to offer him probably just $2 million for the next couple of years. Should be good enough. But Ned Patterson as well, offer him the max two-way for a year because he had a great year in junior. Nolan Reese, I was expecting him to kind of hit the league quicker, and our power forwards just haven't really developed the way I wanted them to. So I'm going to offer him a 1-year, two-way deal at the maximum again, just to hopefully see some development. Gilbert Gagnon, we will offer a contract to. He scored 95 points this year in junior for Rimouski. And, the left wing looks really good, actually. Harry Holt has turned into something special. Christian Tamarina should be better, and unfortunately just isn't quite yet. But here's the big contract. Okay, it's not actually as big as I thought it was going to be. So that would be an $11.875 million contract. So we're looking at $10.1 million, roughly. All right, $10.1 million for Taticek would be an absolute steal of a contract. Personally, I don't think we're going to get that option to sign him. We're going to try to get DeAndre Thompson too, but again, who knows if these guys actually re-sign. We need to sign McQuaid and Walker this year. They're coming up the system nice and fast. And then we've got Shane Ladd and Weiman there as well. Like, our center core is so ridiculously strong that I can't really complain about it at all. I think we are going to release Noah Buckley. He's 22 years old and still just 67 rated, so we'll buy him out. It's going to cost us pretty much nothing. And then apart from that, I don't know. Like, Thompson might end up getting the boot. Kubina, same kind of deal. Like, he's 27 now. Same year as Bedard, kind of, for drafting, but never was really able to stick in the team. Never put up more than 25 points in a season, so that's kind of why, right? That's why it was a struggle for him in his career. Apart from that, I think we should sign Ted Regier as well. He put up a ridiculous 81 points, which is so good for the AHL. And we'll offer Regier a max contract. So with all those contracts offered, we've offered 15 different contracts. I think I am going to buy out Konechny. I think I'm going to buy out Waters just to clear up a couple contract spots. Konechny's 36. We don't need him. Same kind of deal with Waters here. These guys are taking up contract spots away from our drafted players. And alrighty, I think we are ready to go. I'm so excited for Ladd and Weiman. Those guys are going to be really good in the future. And alrighty, let's advance today. I don't know why I left the contract spot. We can just hit X on the controller and we go, but we get Pavelski on the massive deal, and we got to go through all the scouts, of course, but by the looks of it, okay, I don't think we got Weiman. I might be wrong. I think we didn't get Gagnon either due to a full roster, but we get Thompson, Regier, Patterson, McQuaid, Pitton, Kwiatkowski, Bobkov. Taticek agrees to a $10.1 million contract. Let's go. Laflamme, Nolan Reese, Muldoon, Amrit Walker, Raphael Tremblay. All right, so we got just about everybody except for Uriel Weiman. And now we come up to a bit of a dilemma just based on the fact that he wants more money than we can offer him now. So this is going to be interesting. So who is a contract that is probably too big for this team? You know what? We're actually doing pretty good on contracts. Nobody's, in my opinion, super overpaid. Maybe Cale Makar, but the $3 million contract on Thompson was a mess up on my part. I should not have done that. And apart from that, now we're just kind of stuck with these last couple guys here that I either want to sign or trying to sign and just can't. So How about Cali Fast, though? Hey, he's up to a 90 overall as a 19-year-old. Like, yeah, yes, he made ridiculous progression steps over a season or two. And he's going to be a staple in our top 6 here for many years to come. So maybe we release a guy like Alex Swift. He never really turned into anything. 65 rated at 22. We'll buy him out. And now the question falls to, how are we going to sign these last couple of guys? Because we got our goalies. The goalies are good. Not worried about that. I am worried about these 3 right here. I mean, we're going to get Gagnon. I don't see why we wouldn't. We've got enough roster space now, I believe. And I guess we will qualify Uriel Weiman for now. We are going to try to sign him. He is our best defenseman, without a doubt. But it might involve moving a player like Thompson or somebody like that, just based on the fact that, you know, $3 million is an overpayment for a 6th round pick like him. Yes, he's a good passer. Yes, he's got a puck on a string. Yes. He's one of our good players, but he's really not in comparison to a lot of these other guys. And not only that, but we could probably nerf the bottom 6 a little more in exchange to see some additional cap space flexibility and probably bring up some players developing in the system. So I think that's going to be the move here once we hit free agency. We should get Gagnon here as we simulate ahead. And it looks like that we do. We get all of our scouts pretty much as well, which is perfect. And there we go. Okay, so we get Gagnon. And now we're just trying to clear up about $13 million worth of cap space. We've got 9 or so right now. Let's go hire an assistant coach that isn't a forward or defensive coach. Generalistic play fair should be fine. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to sign with the Nordiques when the team has been pushing Stanley Cup status every single year. I did not want to do that. All right, so as we hit free agency, there is no way we're trading anybody like any of these guys except for Thompson and maybe who's the other guy I'm looking at here? Well, Tamarnis hasn't developed particularly well, but he's still a really good two-way forward. But no, I'm thinking a guy like where is he? Tim Bodie's $3 million as well. So that would clear up $6 million, give us about $15 million worth of cap space. So let's see. Can we trade Tim Bodie? All right, first players first here. Tim Bodie. We could get him for... Is this Jaguar that was on our team? Hold on. No way. We could get Hugo Jaguar back. And he's 84 rated. You know what? That might be a move. That might be a move to add a really decent backup goalie here for this team. And I was not expecting Hugo Jaguar to even pop up in conversation here. So, before we actually make this trade, let's just see how much money Jaguar is asking for. Because if he's asking for like $3 or $4 million, then that's not a bad deal. But if he's asking for more than that, it doesn't make sense. He wants $5.75 million. It's not great, unfortunately. Okay, so let's try a different Tim Bodie deal, even though that was actually a really interesting one right off the bat. All right, so we're going to trade Tim Bodie to the New York Islanders for 2 third-round picks over the next 2 years. And for $3.4 million on 1 year, we can definitely use that cap space more effectively. And apart from that, DeAndre Thompson is going to be the other piece that we move here. And not great options here, honestly. We could get a Vegas 4th rounder off of DeAndre Thompson, which we will absolutely take. All right, so we will take this deal as well. It clears up that $3 million that we need, and now all of a sudden we've got a little bit more cap space to play with in $13 million there. So let's go sign our free agents in Weimer and Weiman. Go figure. Those two both, end up kind of expiring at the same time. And let's offer Uriel Weiman a 10. I'm going to offer him 10.25 to start because I don't really think he's worth more than a guy like, what's his name? I don't think he's worth more than a guy like Oldrich Taticek, but in this case he kind of is. We're going to try a $2.5 million deal for Gabriel Weimer for the next 2 seasons, and those should be enough to go through, but we'll see as we advance a few more days. We get an AHL assistant coach there, and we don't get Playfair, okay. But we do get Gabriel Weimer, which is awesome. Do we get Uriel Weiman? He rejects. Well, that's annoying. Okay. Simply based on my skills. My skills are too good. What do you mean your skills are too good? You're barely worth $11 million. So let's advance again. He's not rejecting $11 million. Like, come on. And there we go. Okay. Took him a little bit longer, but that's okay. We get the deal done. And, yeah, I guess it is what it is. Who's the leader on this team here? Bedard, Beta. That's it. Rodrigo Beta, hey. That's a bit of an interesting one. Elliott goalie. What about the actual goalies? Not really. Alright, looks good to me. Alright, so let's sim to the next season, see how this team shapes up. It's going to be fairly similar to last year, but I'm extremely happy with the trades we made. I think it allows for some room for our AHL players to get up into the NHL, get some experience there, and let's see how it looks. Alright, so heading into the next season, our primary goal is that we are expected to win the Stanley Cup. Makes sense. They want us to get 30 home wins, which I think is doable with this team, and they want us to beat Vegas, which, whatever, that one doesn't make sense, but let's see how the lines look. So guys, just before I show you the lines here, I want to kind of go over a guy like Matthias Silvegaard. He's developed into an incredible player. His physicality, his senses, and his defense are his 3 best categories, even though he's a sniper. And I'm thinking we give him some X factors like no contest, just based on his aggressiveness, body checking, strength, and even durability. We give him no contest, and he's got 99 stick checking. Like, that is his best stat apart from offensive awareness. So I think we give him, like, stick him up, no contest, and probably something along the lines of, well, his defensive awareness is insane too, so I'm thinking, I think maybe we take tape to tape off of him too. Like, his power's decent, so maybe like Heat Seeker or something like that. I think Magnetic makes sense just based on his awareness because he's always going to go to the puck. But tape to tape, I'm going to actually take off, and we're going to load him up on X factors on other things here. So, shot blocking was another one. So Ice Pack makes sense. Heat Seeker makes sense. No contest makes sense, but we're going to give that to him as his X factor. And we're stick him up. Stick him up. Okay. Oh, and there's probably one more we could give him. Well, no contest is going to be his one. That's really good. We got Heat Seeker. We got... What else does he have? He's not ridiculously fast, but he's good. Like, his shutdown. Oh, maybe shutdown, actually. Shutdown would make sense just based on his playstyle. So we'll give him no contest as the zone ability. But he's been an absolute unit on this team for years now in Quebec, and it makes sense to reward him for his style of play. I'm going to do the same kind of thing here with Uriel Weiman, just because, again, he's been fantastic on this team. I think he deserves to have a couple extra X factors. The main ones would probably be... I'm going to say tape to tape because he's got 91 passing, along with, I want to say shutdown. I think those would kind of be the two that make the most sense for him. Because yes, he is a two-way defender, but overall he does kind of control the game through his passing and his defensive ability. So this is the team we're going with this year, guys. I know it's a little bit unorthodox as far as having a guy like Connor Bedard over on the wing. I know it's not exactly what you guys are expecting, but just based on how the chemistry works, if I try to play him at center, it drops one of the lines to a 3, and I just would rather have the +5s when we're simming. So I think Bedard and Taticek are going to play insane together, and Calais Fast, at just 20 years old, has proven he is a legitimate star in this league. Apart from that, Silvegaard's now got those extra X factors, so he looks great. We're going to try Christian Tamarina's at center since he's got 80 faceoffs, and then Thoresen's playing on the right side to hopefully improve his goal scoring a bit. So along with that, Harry Holt, Ned Patterson, and Lars Lander are rocking the third line for us, and then we got Maldine, Crane, and Beta this year. Rodrigo Beta is going to get his NHL debut. He's got a great shot too, so we'll see how many goals these guys can put up. It should be an interesting year. And then on the defensive side, we're rolling all pairings, and we've got Weiman, Legault, Biggs and Bouwmeester, and Olofsson and Makar on the back end. So with Makar at 34 years old now, we're trying to get pretty much maximum production out of him, as much maximum production out of him as we can. He's been really good over the last couple seasons, putting up 50 plus points each year for this team, especially in his older age now. It's looking really good still. The rest of this defense is insane. We've got Harvey Biggs in here. I've added a couple X factors onto him because he's got a 5-star puck skills category, and I think he deserves those kind of X factors just based on how he plays as an offensive defenseman. He kind of looks like Torrey Krug, to be honest, but Weiman and Legault is a great pairing. They're not huge, but they are like very skillful 6-foot-tall defensemen. Our biggest guy is Olofsson without a doubt, but then in net, we've got Djordjevic and Wyatt Wolinski this year, who actually leapfrogged Sean Atkinson for the backup role, which is funny because he is a year younger too, but that's how the team looks. We've got Gabriel Weimer there in case we need him to play. We've got McMuffin and we've got Winquist. I put Winquist on tape-to-tape superstar ability or zone ability because he's got 99 passing. So there aren't really a lot of guys that can pass the puck that well on our team, and he is one of them. So the only other way we could maybe play this lineup would be playing Olofsson and Bouwmeester together and then like having Biggs sit, but I don't know if that's really what we want. Like, it looks good, but I would rather have a slightly higher rated Harvey Biggs in the lineup and take a slight chemistry hit there on the back end. So that's the team. If you want to look at the special teams, feel free to pause here as I very quickly run through this. And pretty much all of these lines are +5s, apart from I think one of the penalty kills, and extra attackers. Everything else looks fantastic. So going over to the AHL now, this is how our AHL team looks. It's actually pretty solid for what we've seen in the past. I don't think we're going to get a better AHL team than the one that we've got this year. It's really just insane how strong it is. And then the defense, we've got Raphael Tremblay, who hopefully is going to develop. He's been another one of those, first-round offensive defensemen that just never pans out, or is looking like he's never going to pan out. So that's our group. That's what we're looking at. The goaltending's pretty solid here with Atkinson and Bob Cobb in net. Apart from that, we got Kreider sitting because his chemistry is terrible. And as far as special teams go, again, feel free to pause. These special teams weren't quite as insane, but they're still okay. And same with the extras here. But that's our group. That's what we're looking at. And really, that's pretty much where we're going to be wrapping it up for this episode. It was a very successful offseason. We managed to re-sign everybody. We got things sorted out, and the team is looking like they have a very good shot at trying to get another Stanley Cup. It's been a couple years now, but I think we can do it in this upcoming year. So anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, and hit notifications to never miss these uploads. And of course, make sure to leave comments to interact with me and try to get featured in the next episode. But that is it for this one. This is Etanio signing out, and until next time.